Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. I am so sorry. Ugh. Technical difficulties, technical difficulties. Hopefully, people who are at the first, who had logged in at the original live podcast that was supposed to happen at 8 o'clock, I hope those people come back. Again, I'm so sorry. For some reason, I wasn't able to press the link on my cell phone. I don't know what was going on. I really it was something new that's never happened to me before. Um, those of you who are here, I'm glad to see you. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. You guys know the spiel. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. I want to see flowers. I want to see roses. You know how we do. Still a little bit of time if you guys need to get an adult beverage, something to eat. Again, I apologize. I apologize. Just there were some technical difficulties with my um, smartphone. I do these live podcasts off my smartphone. And for some reason, I couldn't, I was pressing to go live, but for some reason, that link was not working. Why? I don't know. So hopefully, everybody who was at the original 8 o'clock schedule live podcast that was in the chat, hopefully, those people come back. If you can, send out the word that we're live. We're live. We are live now. Everything's working now here at Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast. So I probably should send something out while I'm logged in to my YouTube channel. All right, squaddies, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing this lovely evening? It's Saturday, October. Here where I live, it's been raining. It's been raining and the weather has changed. It's cool. I had to wear, some cool jackets. Right now, I actually have on a pair of shorts. But again, we are live. We started about 30 minutes behind schedule, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. Again, those who had checked in at 8 o'clock, hopefully those people come on back. But for those of you who are here now, welcome. Welcome to Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast. I am Special K Thoughts. And during these live podcasts, we have a family chat, which we call Sussex Talk. Okay. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and do my spiel. But Sussex Talk is when the fam gets together, and I'm talking about the Sussex Squad. fam gets together, and we have a family chat. We have a family chat about our faves, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, Has and Meg, right? We have a family chat. We talk about them. We talk about the wonderful things that they're doing. And, we just all like to get together as a fam. That's all. We enjoy each other's company. If this is the first time that you're joining us, I just want to let you know that this is a pro Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex channel. Okay. We do not like monarchists. We are not monarchists here. Okay, we're strictly fans, stands, fanatical about Prince Harry and Meghan. Um, we're not monarchists. We can't stand royal reporters. Oh my God, we can't stand royal reporters. We can't stand monarchists. Okay. Now, some of the monarchists I'm okay with. The ones that stay true to the game, the ones that are real. Like, some of them I can hang with, right? Because, they're true monarchists, right? They believe in the monarchy, and, I get where they're coming from. But, those so-called royal fans, no, they're not royal fans. They're just fans because they want to hate on Harry and Meghan, right? But anyway, again, we're not monarchists. We can't stand royal reporters, and we do not like them other royals. So if that is your cup of tea, I highly encourage you to stay. If it's not your cup of tea, if you're the type of person that likes both sides, we don't do both sides here. We are not fence riders. No, none of that. We've all seen what happens when there are fence riders in the fandom, right? That may sound harsh, but that's what we do. That's how we are. So anyway, all right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started on this live podcast. Wow, what a week, right? Hello, everybody in the chat. What a week. Woo! I mean, we've been blessed, right? We really have been blessed when it comes to our faves who have been out and about. Guys, didn't they dazzle in New York City? Didn't they take over New York? Right. I mean, Prince Harry and Meghan, they took over New York, right? They took it over. They dazzled in New York. New York state of mind. I mean, I was just so happy, and it just made me feel so good seeing those two just doing their thing in New York. Like the bosses that they are. And it was a beautiful thing to see how people in New York gravitated towards them and were very welcoming of them. And they really, truly are. When I say they, I am talking about Prince Harry and Meghan. They really are putting Archwell Foundation to the forefront, right? And even Prince Harry, when he does his thing, when he participates on panels, he constantly, you guys notice this? He constantly mentions the Invictus Games Foundation, right? Putting Invictus Games Foundation to the forefront. Excuse me. I'm drinking this sparkling water. But those two, I mean, they showed up and they showed out in New York, right? Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and go on my laptop. But really, it just, I'm very proud of those two. I really, really am. I'm very, very proud of those two. I love the fact that we're not the only ones, right, within the fandom that are proud of Prince Harry and Meghan, right? There are outside entities as well that are very proud of Prince Harry and Meghan, and they are recognizing the work that they do, and they recognize that the work that they're doing in regards to mental health is having a positive impact in people's lives. And that's why they were honored. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows who's listening, and everybody who's in the chat is well aware that Prince Harry and Meghan, the reason why they went to New York was because they were being honored, right? They were being honored for the work that they do in regards to Archwell Foundation. And one of the reasons why they were being honored for their humanitarian work in regards to the Archwell Foundation is because of their initiative, the Parent Network. Now, the Parent Network has not been around that long, right? I mean, heck, the Archwell Foundation has not been around that long, okay? We're still in 2025, okay? We're still in 2025, right? Archwell Foundation did not kick off till 2021. So it hasn't even really been 5 years, right? And they've already come up with different initiatives. They've done a lot of humanitarian work that has had a positive change in people's lives. Okay. And the Invictus Foundation, the Invictus Games Foundation, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I just watched a beautiful video that was released by the Invictus Games Foundation. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing, the shirt. Where they've already started building the rehabilitation center, the sports complex center in Nigeria. They've already started building it. I mean, huge. That is so huge. And I think we kind of overlooked it because there's just been so much going on with Harry and Meghan. I mean, there's just so much going on that there's certain things, that's going on with their nonprofits that we tend to, forget about, or not really forget about, but don't talk about enough. And that is one story that we aren't talking about enough, is the fact that the Sports Complex Center, the Rehabilitation Center in Nigeria, they're building it. They've got buildings up, full speed ahead. Okay, I guarantee you when that is finished, there are going to be so many other countries that are going to be, contacting the Invictus Games Foundation, wanting something like that in their country for, their soldiers, their, Marines, their sailors. I mean, I see it coming. And that's a beautiful thing. Look in the chat. All right, so I see the usual players are here. I love you guys. I love the OG squaddies. Okay, I love the OG squaddies. Everybody, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Okay, everybody, go and hit the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, and if you like what you hear so far, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well, okay? Again, this is Sussex Talk, and I'm your host, Special K Thoughts. And what we do is we have a family chat where we talk about our faves, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess. Yes, she is a Duchess. She's a princess as well of Sussex, okay? The haters hate it. They hate it when we refer to her as princess. She is a princess, okay? She's Princess Henry. What's Henry's last name? Is it Wells or is it Windsor? Let me know in the chat. Oh, all right. Go look. Okay, awesome. All right. So, again, our faves, they dazzled. They took over in New York City. I'm going to go ahead and log into the Sussex.com website. I always tell you guys how much I love reading this website. I love checking in this website because I think it's awesome. And bam, I mean, it's all in my history, right? It's not like I have to type it in. It's like all in my history. So again, we all know, I think we're all still on a natural high, right? About the Duke and Duchess of Sussex being in New York City. And, and they were there. The reason why they were there was because, they were being honored. They were going to be given the Humanitarians of the Year award. And the nonprofit organization that was giving them this award was Project Healthy Minds. And Project Healthy Minds, they had a gala in New York City, and that's where Prince Harry and Meghan were presented this award. But before they were presented this award, Prince Harry, right, the Dragon Slayer, right? Prince Harry, the Dragon Slayer. Isn't that what Meghan called him? He's the Dragon Slayer. But Prince Harry, the People's Prince, our favorite prince, he participated on a panel which spoke about men's health. I was so happy to see that. Prince Harry, one thing about him, mental health, he is serious when it comes to mental health, right? It's not performative to him. It's a real thing for him because he is diagnosed with PTSD, which he has said himself. I think, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he said that he was diagnosed with PTSD because, of the 2 tours that he did in Afghanistan, right? And some of the missions that he went on in Afghanistan and some of the things that he saw and that he had to deal with, caused him to have PTSD. However, I believe that Prince Harry probably had PTSD. He probably got it when his mother died, okay? Being a 12-year-old boy walking behind your mother's coffin is definitely going to cause you to have PTSD, okay? Back in them days, nobody knew what it was. I don't think so. But I'm just saying, he probably had it before, he went into the military and did his 2 tours in Afghanistan. But anywho, right now I am on the Sussex.com website. And like I said, before Prince Harry and Meghan were honored at the Project Healthy Minds Gala for the Humanitarians of the Year Award, Prince Harry participated in a panel about men's mental health. So it says on their website, Sussex.com, that Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, he joined Movember. Now, I've never heard of Movember. Never heard of it, right? Never heard of this nonprofit organization. Okay, so Movember apparently is the leading global men's health organization. I'm gonna say that again. So Movember, okay, it's a nonprofit organization that is the leading global charity in regards to men's mental health. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I love the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, is because they constantly introduce us to these different nonprofit organizations that we were not aware of, right? It's like you learn something from these two, right? Like I said, I never heard of Movember. So, I mean, it's great to see that there is, a global mental health nonprofit organization for men. Awesome. So Prince Harry joined this panel, and Movember, which is a men's mental health nonprofit organization, they had a conversation about men's mental health. Now, one thing I definitely know as an American, and I'm pretty sure you American squatties agree with me, there's definitely a men's mental health crisis here in these United States of America. Okay? Definitely. It's not funny. It's not funny at all, but I'm just saying. I know here in these United States of America, there is definitely a men's mental health crisis, particularly in regards to young men. Okay. Prince Harry talks about that. Okay. So, again, Prince Harry's on this panel with other panelists, and the person that, moderated this panel was Brooke Baldwin. American squaddies, maybe even some of the, international squaddies may remember Miss Brooke Baldwin. She used to be a CNN TV news anchor. I used to love watching her and Don Lemon on New Year's Eve, because those two would get lit. But anyway, sorry, my baggage just. But Prince Harry, he participated on this panel, and it was a really, really good conversation. It really, really was. I love to see men get together and have good conversations about mental health or just any topic. When you get a panel of men together who are articulate and knowledgeable, and they really want to have a good, sincere, genuine, positive conversation, and the conversation is solution based. I love to see men do that. I do. So anyway, again, Brooke Baldwin, she moderated the conversation between Prince Harry and the people that were on the panel included Movember's global director, and there was a Dr. Derek Griffith from the University of Pennsylvania, and there were some other prominent panelists as well. And Movember had done some research, and the research definitely showed how, there appears to be like a perception gap between, and I see it, right? And I actually agree with it, but there appears to be like a perception gap between private beliefs and assumed norms that men have. Okay. And when I read that, I was like, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And I think one of the huge contributing factors to that is because you have a lot of young men who are isolated. Like, seriously, who are isolated. They're home all day playing video games. And just so isolated. So I could definitely see that, and I actually agree with that as well. The panel talked about how young men are facing, they're facing a crisis in regards to their mental health challenges. It went on to say that more than 1 in 4 men ages 18 to 34, have reported experiencing mental health issues in the past year. I mean, that's pretty sad, but I'm glad to read that men are actually letting people know that they have mental health issues, because I'm pretty sure that's not easy for a man to admit, right? I'm pretty sure that's not easy for a man to admit. But one thing I will say, at least here in the United States, right, you do have more men admitting that they have mental health issues and reaching out to get help. And I think the reason why that is because the stigma, right? There's less and less stigma around that. So that's great. So one thing about Prince Harry, right, that he definitely has connected social media to the decline in men's mental health. And when Prince Harry spoke, he talked about, social media, the impact that social media has on men's mental health. particularly younger men, right? And so Prince Harry, he stated that he felt, that there were just too many young men who are being raised by algorithms that make them feel powerless, hopeless, rather than real mentors, right? Again, the social isolation, right? There are a lot of young men who are home all day playing video games, right? They've lost connectivity. They're either playing video games or they're listening to these bro podcasts, right? And what Prince Harry is saying is that they're just, they're on social media too much. The algorithms, right, taking control of their minds, instead of speaking to real people, instead of seeking out real mentors. What they're doing is that they're seeking guidance online, right? That's what they're getting their guidance from, which is social media, which I absolutely agree with. So Prince Harry, he was saying on the panel, that men need to find and seek different ways, to connect to real human beings, which makes sense to me. And so, remember what I was saying, how Prince Harry, one thing about him is that no matter what panel he's on, he is always going to talk about the Invictus Games Foundation, right? Well, that's what he did on this panel. He started talking about the Invictus Games Foundation, right? So he started talking about his work with the Invictus Games Foundation, and he was saying how, that foundation has shown him how when strength is re-identified, vulnerability is respected and recovery is celebrated as courage, right? And he was saying that, young men don't necessarily have role models that fit that mold, right? That vulnerability is actually respected. It shouldn't be looked down upon. If you're vulnerable as a young man, you shouldn't be thinking that you're a punk, right? That's basically what he's saying, right? But again, the conversation that Prince Harry was having with these other panelists, he was just saying that connectivity is the key. Speaking with real people is the key. Getting out, having real mentors is the key, right? And beginning quote, I'm just going to say something real briefly about what Prince Harry said. Beginning quote, I found myself speaking to many veterans and sitting down with them. I realized that silence is killing people. Okay. I mean, that's real, right? That is real, right? I'll repeat it again. Prince Harry, beginning quote. I found myself speaking to many veterans and sitting down with them. I realized the silence is killing people. Okay. He added, stamping out the stigma globally, we've come a long ways. Remember I was saying, at least here in the United States, that, there are more men who are seeking out help for their mental health. The stigma is getting less and less and less. Okay. However, there are a lot more men, young men, who stay silent and don't get the help that they need. Prince Harry was saying, stamping out the stigma globally, we've come a long ways. Access to therapy is still a massive problem. Okay. So, hand clap, Prince Harry. I thought he did an excellent job being on this panel. You could tell by looking at the pictures that Prince Harry is in his element, right? He is in his element when he is talking about mental health. He is. Mental health is very important to him. And it's so important to him that he realizes and he understands that he has this huge platform. And with this huge platform that he has, he needs to make sure that he is advocating and championing mental health for all, particularly men and veterans, because he's been there. He knows, he deals with it daily, right? So again, hand clap to Prince Harry. It was great to see him on this panel. And like I said, he looked like he was really in his element. Movember, check them out, right? They are the leading global men's mental health nonprofit organization. They do a lot of research. Okay, they have a Movember Institute of Men's Health. Okay, so they do a lot of research and they have a lot of data that backs up, the belief that men are in a serious mental health crisis, particularly young men. Okay, young men, 25 and younger. When they pop off, they pop off. So awesome to Prince Harry, and I would not be surprised if Movember and Archwell Foundation do some type of partnership. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised at all, and that would be a beautiful thing to see. Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you're just now joining us, we are doing a live podcast of Sussex Talk, and I am your host, Special K Thoughts. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well if you want to join this lovely channel. We are still talking about Prince Harry and Meghan, how they dazzled and took over New York City. Sorry about that. For some reason, I don't know how I did it, but for some reason I logged out of sexx.com. I got logged back in. But again, like I was saying, we were talking about our faves, of course, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, their New York City takeover, because that's basically what they did, right? I mean, it's still all over social media, right? How Prince Harry and Meghan took over New York City. But it's not really just about that, right, guys? It's really about the work that they did in New York City and the reason why they were in New York City. And the reason why they were in New York City was because they were honored. They were honored with Humanitarians of the Year award by Project Healthy Minds. Okay. And it was an honor that they deserve. So, when Prince Harry and Meghan hit the red carpet, I think the earth paused for about 10 seconds. What do you guys think? I think when Prince Harry and Meghan hit the red carpet at the Project Healthy Minds Gala, I think either the earth paused or the earth shook for about 10 seconds. Did you guys like what they had on? Did you love the color coordinated ensembles that they both had on. I mean, they came up to show up and show out, right? Me personally, I don't think those two even realize how good looking of a couple that they are. I don't think they really see it. I mean, they might see it, but I don't think they do, to be honest. I don't think they realize how much on fire those two are when they're together and they're color coordinated, right? But they both had on tailor-made black suits, and the suits were Armani. Yes, Armani. Okay. Top of the line. Prince Harry looking dapper as ever. You know, Meghan, she pulled it off. She pulled off the business sexy attire. She pulled off the business sexy look. How about the ponytail? Right? How about the feathered, layered ponytail? You guys saw that? I mean, they came in, people screaming, just flashing everywhere. Prince Harry! Prince Harry! Oh. You know, and Meghan's being gracious. She's acknowledging the photographers, you know. How about that face card? I mean, Meghan's face card is lethal. Like, for real, it's lethal. Oh, that girl's got a beautiful face. You know, you got some now. You got some. You guys know how the naysayers are, how the British press is. You know, they whatever Meghan and Harry do something big, right? They always come at it from a negative point of view, right? Saying that, you know, Prince Harry looked like he didn't want to be there, you know, that Prince Harry didn't look like he was into it, this, that, and the other. It's like, girl, right? Prince Harry done said, I don't know how many times, that camera flashes, right? He has PTSD. We all saw when those two first came out on the carpet. Prince Harry was first. Prince Harry was holding on to Meghan's hand so tight. You guys saw that? He came out first, looking around the corner. Prince Harry was like, you know, he's very protective of his wife. Very protective of his wife. You know? But Prince Harry wanted to be there. I don't think he enjoyed all of the press, but he's never enjoyed all of the press like that, in that type of setting. Okay, but he wanted to be there. Absolutely, he wanted to be there. He was there. They were there, yes, to accept the award, but they were there to participate in World Mental Health Day. You know, the festival. You know, they were co-hosts, right, of different panels. They were there to do business. They were there to unify. They were there to provide comfort. They were there to advocate for parents who are a part of the parent network. There were parents there that are a part of the parent network, that are in that group. God, I hope that's a group I never ever in my life have to join. You know what I'm saying? But I saw some familiar faces in that crowd. You know, they were there to support those people as well, right? It wasn't just all about them. You know what I'm saying? I know that they were honored and privileged to get an award like that, but there's a lot more work to be done. Archwell Foundation has only been around for 4.5 years, people. They're just getting started. But anyway, again, I mean the look. Some people just got it, and those two got it. Okay, girl, those two got it. They're hot. They're a hot couple. Okay. I mean, wow. Yes, baby. We're gonna go in our tailor-made Armani black suits. All right. So I'm looking at the pictures now, and just want to make sure that there's clarity that, you know, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, right? They were honored. They were honored with Project Healthy Minds Humanitarians of the Year Award. Project Healthy Minds, okay, their board, I'm pretty sure their board of directors and their senior staff, right, all had a vote on who was going to get these awards. And they said Archwell Foundation. It is what it is, okay? And the speaker that introduced them, that gave them the award, was very clear on why Archwell Foundation was getting this award. Okay. So Project Healthy Minds, okay, this gala, it's an annual gala that they have. And this year was actually their 3rd annual gala. Okay. Boy, if I was living in New York, I would have got tickets to that, and I would have been sitting right there. And there were some American squatties that were actually there. Okay. So again, you know, the recognition celebrates their sustained commitment to building a safer digital environment for children and families, alongside their broader contributions to global mental health support and their initiative, the Parents Network. Again, Archwell Foundation has only been around for 4.5 years, people. It started in 2021, people. The Parents Network, they started working on this a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, with Stanford. Remember when the Archwell Foundation was giving grants to Stanford University? Right? Stanford University was doing a lot of research in regards to social media and the harms of social media due to the algorithms of social media, and their research showed that the more negative the topic is, the more the algorithms increase, right? They had shown how, you know, that the negativity is what really pushes the algorithms, which is sad. That is so crazy to me, right? But and how these algorithms can brainwash people. They can brainwash people. They can isolate people, and they seriously can cause, you know, emotional damage to people. They cause people to become depressed, right? People get fixated on these algorithms. They get isolated. Their world gets smaller and smaller and smaller because all they're doing is just on the phone, paying attention to these algorithms. right? It does something to the brain. And, Archwell Foundation, way back when they first started, they had teamed up with Stanford University. They had given, financially given a grant to Stanford University that was doing research on social media, the harms of social media and the algorithms, and how, the harms of social media and these algorithms really cause some serious damage to people, particularly young people's mental health. So that's really how the Parents Network got started. Okay. Because during this time, Prince Harry and Meghan were finding out that there were young people that were unfortunately committing suicide. That's what the research was showing. And Prince Harry and Meghan were like, wow, right? And they came up with this initiative for parents to have support. So anyway, the Parents Network, from grief to global movement. I love that. I love that. From grief to global movement, because that's really what the Parents Network is, right? And Project Healthy Minds sees that. Okay? Project Healthy Minds sees that. They're like, wow. Okay? So, again, their work began in 2020, tracking the effects of online harms and consulting with Stanford University experts who had identified troubling findings about social media's impact on young people. After extensive research and meetings with families whose children's lives were affected, the Duke and Duchess introduced the Parents Network 2 years ago at Project Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day Festival, a fitting venue, they noted, for launching a community designed to expand mental health support access while prioritizing online safety for families and young people. Okay, so there you go. Okay, again, Archwell Foundation. Okay. This crisis is serious now. Seriously, it really, really is. How much social media really does harm young people. Okay. I know pretty close to where I live, there was a young person who committed suicide. 15 years old, committed suicide. Social media. Social media. Okay. So it really is a crisis. The Parents Network, is saying that according to Social Media Victims Law Center, and Prince Harry has quoted this number before, more than 4,000 families were pursuing legal action related to social media harms. Okay. A figure the Duke and Duchess emphasized represented only a fraction of affected families, limited to those with the resources and the capacity to take legal action through a single law firm. Bam. See how much awareness the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have? See how much awareness the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have? They're saying that's only a fraction. 4,000 families, whoo, that's a lot, but that's only a fraction. Because not everybody has the financial means to hire an attorney and sue a big time corporation. That's why I love those two. Beginning quote, if these deaths and harm to children were unintended consequences 10 years ago, Prince Harry said, then what are they now? What I love about The Parents Network is definitely not a network that anybody who's a parent wants to join, right? But it's not just for parents, right? It's for anybody who is a caretaker of children, or just anybody who, has a close relationship with a child or a young adult, right? It could be a godmother, it could be a godfather, could be an aunt, uncle, could be a soccer coach who doesn't have any kids, baseball coach who doesn't have any kids. However, they may have a close relationship with a young person or a child. The Parents Network is not just about a support group for parents who have lost children to the harms of online social media. The Parents Network gives a lot of information, right? A lot of important information that educates parents, caretakers, people who work with children, gives them tools on how to protect children and young adults that are in your lives from the harms of social media. Okay. So, anyway, news came out that the Parents Network, they're expanding. They're going to expand their mission. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who came up with this brilliant idea on their own. It didn't take them 12 years to come up with 5 questions. Okay. They didn't need no royal senior staff. They didn't need taxpayer money. These two came up with this initiative on their own that's global now. They're already expanding this. They're already expanding the Parents Network, okay? At the gala, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced that the Parents Network was joining forces with Parents Together, positioning the initiative for broader reach and deeper impact as technology continues its rapid evolution. AI is a mofo. Isn't it? Isn't AI? Ooh. Okay. The move represented what they describe as a natural evolution to enable the community to continue to grow and have more impact alongside the rapid rise of technology. So, remember when I was telling you that when the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were introduced, they were introduced by somebody who was very, very lively and somebody who made it clear as to why Archwell Foundation was getting the Humanitarians of the Year award. Okay. So, Philip, I want to say Schumer or Shermer. I'll probably say his last name all wrong. He spells his last name, Mr. Philip, Scherer. Okay. He is Project Healthy Minds founder and CEO. He emphasized the alignment between the mission and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Okay. And his statement says, it is a privilege to honor Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, at our World Mental Health Day Gala this year. Okay. Their leadership, generosity, and unwavering commitment to advancing mental health awareness have made a profound difference in so many lives. All right. He wasn't the one that actually introduced the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at the gala. It was actually a female. I do not know what her name was. But she was very, very lively. And I mean, her speech, it was like bullet points as to why the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is getting this Humanitarians of the Year award. And you could tell that she wanted to say, if you don't agree with it, fight your mama. I mean, she didn't say that, but you could tell that she was just like, don't be questioning us in regards to why the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is getting presented this award. Okay, don't question us. Okay, this is why they're getting it. You don't like it? Kick rocks. But anyway, Prince Harry and Meghan, they gave really good speeches, of course, when they accepted the award. Meghan talked about Lilibet and Archie, how, at this point in time in their lives, they're too young to be on social media. However, it's coming. It's coming real soon. I thought that their speeches were very humbling. I thought that their speeches were, you could tell that their speeches, they really just wanted to focus on the work, right? They just wanted to focus on the work. This Humanitarian Award is not about us. It's about Archwell Foundation, and it's about, unfortunately, the parents that had lost their children to the harms of social media. And we just want to make sure that we are using our platform to provide awareness, provide support, to comfort and unify and advocate mental health. So, again, very, very happy for Archwell Foundation. It's an award that they definitely deserved. The staff was there. Yes, the Archwell Foundation staff was there. And they all looked like that they were very happy, and they all looked like that, they were having a good time. So awesome to see the Archwell Foundation staff there. Yet James was there. James was there. So, again, I keep on going back to the fact that the Archwell Foundation has only been around since 2021, right? And look at all that they've accomplished. I mean, you got World Central Kitchen, right? My God, World Central Kitchen. They partnered with World Central Kitchen, and look what World Central Kitchen has been doing since they partnered with the Archwell Foundation. Me personally, I think Chef Jose Andres should get the Nobel Peace Prize. I do. I think he should get the Nobel Peace Prize next year. Absolutely. There are people who lost their lives feeding people. The Archwell Foundation, they're very, very smart. They know which universities to financially support when it comes to research. Stanford University, they financially supported Stanford University's research on the harms of social media. And look what the result was out of them doing that, out of Archwell Foundation doing that. They started the initiative of the Parents Network. Right? And like I said, I will not be surprised if Archwell Foundation teams up with Movember. Okay. Nonprofit organization that's the leading global mental health charity. Okay. And they do research as well. They do research in regards to the crisis, the mental health crisis in regards to young men who are socially isolated, who are playing on video games all day long, who are listening to these bro podcasts. They've lost connectivity. They're not out and about in the world. the numbers have dramatically dropped in regards to young men enrolling in college. Why is that? Right? You got young men who are doing these mass shootings. And that's the type, right? That is the type. A young man. All right. So did you guys see the video that Megan Sussex put out? I know you have. I know you have. I know that you know that. I know that you know that. I know that you know. I know you know. I know you saw it. The video that Megan put out of her and Prince Harry, the black and white video. It's like a 6-7 second video. It's probably already had like 10 million views already. They're in a room and she's laughing, and Prince Harry is holding some type of notepad or something. And I wish I knew what they were saying. Like, what was he saying that was making her laugh? Like, why? But you talk about sexy. I mean, just put all the sexiness in that video, right? All kinds of sexy in that video. All kinds of sexy in that video, right? But Megan Sussex put that video out, and she said that she was basically wishing her husband a happy World Mental Health Day, right? But she says, happy World Mental Health Day. And, to the man who always keeps me laughing. Happy World Mental Health Day to the man that always keeps me laughing. And she's just laughing, and Prince Harry's laughing. Those two. Oh my God, those two. That is a forever love, right? That is a forever love between those two. Oops. Ooh, okay. So we all know that Prince Harry and Meghan, they got the Humanitarian Award on October 9th. And then the very next day was World Mental Health, right? Festival Day for, Project Healthy Minds. And Prince Harry and Meghan, they not so much hosted panels, but they introduced panels, right? And you guys saw Katie Couric. Katie Couric loves her some Duke and Duchess of Sussex. She does. She loves her some Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But before I talk about that, though, did you guys see the post of Prince Harry with Amina J. Muhammad? Did you guys see that post? I mean, there were some dignitaries in that room, right? Some dignitaries in that room. And I'm pretty sure there'll be more pictures that come out that show Prince Harry or Princess Meghan with dignitary, taking a picture with a dignitary. But Prince Harry, there was a picture of Prince Harry with Amina J. Muhammad. And those of you who do not know who she is, okay, she's a very important person. Okay, and obviously she's got a really good relationship with Prince Harry and Meghan. But Miss Amina J. Muhammad, she is the Nigerian British diplomat. Okay, and she is the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. Okay, she was very supportive of Prince Harry and Meghan when they did their New York trip um, during the Global Citizen um, Summit. Remember when they hosted the Global Citizen? I don't know if it was a summit. Is that if that's what they called it? But that was years ago. Man, time flies by fast. But remember when COVID was huge, and there was all these shortages of the immunizations, and um, and the Global Citizens organization got together, and Meghan was the one that got MasterCard and Coca-Cola and all these big time businesses to donate. And I mean, they Prince Harry and Meghan just raised so much money. Success Squad had raised so much money, right, in regards to Prince Harry's birthday. Um, to raise funds, to donate money for immunizations, COVID immunizations, to be distributed to, you know, I believe it was African countries. Um, and again, Prince Harry and Meghan, they were on a panel. They met with Chelsea Clinton, just all kinds of dignitaries. So Prince Harry and Meghan meeting with dignitaries in New York City is nothing new. Um, they've met, and I know Prince Harry has a close relationship with the general, right, of the United Nations. I know his name is Antonio, but I don't know his last name, and I'm not even too sure if I gave him the correct title, but I'll look it up. But did you guys see that picture? So Miss Amina J. Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, she was there. She was there. Somebody found a video of Savannah Guthrie. Now, I don't know if you guys know who she is. I'm pretty sure many American squaddies in the chat know who she is. But Savannah Guthrie was there, and she was interviewed on the red carpet, and she was saying how, well, let me take it back. Savannah Guthrie, she's on NBC. She's one of the hosts on the Today Show, which is a morning show here in the United States of America. Now, I always thought that Savannah Guthrie was kind of a low-key hater of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I just always felt that way about Miss Savannah, and she probably still is. I just never understood where that energy was coming from, because Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has appeared on the Today Show numerous times before she was even thinking about Prince Harry. Right? I mean, she has. I mean, not only did she appear on the Today Show as a part of the cast of Suits, but she appeared on the Today Show just as Meghan Markle. She did a cooking segment. There was another time where she was on there where she did like a fashion segment. There was the women that came out and they modeled, I think, fall fashion, and Meghan sat right next to Savannah's ass and was talking about the fashion that the women had on. And so once she got married to Prince Harry, I just always kind of felt that Savannah Guthrie's attitude towards Meghan had changed. She just seemed, like I said, like a low-key hater, in my opinion. But anyway, Savannah Guthrie was there. Carson Daly, who is on the Today Show as well, she said that she was there to support her friend Carson Daly. She was talking about how she had a really good relationship with Carson, and they had gotten to a deep conversation about his mental health, and she was not aware that he was having some serious issues with his mental health. And she was saying how she thought that Carson Daly was doing a really good job with Project Healthy Minds. And then she talked about the royals, Prince Harry and Meghan. And she was just saying, she just said a lot of positive things about them. And that it was good to have them there. And that, she felt that, like, I'm putting words in her mouth and I'm generalizing. But basically, she said that she felt that they were doing really, really good work and that they were very genuine about their work. And I was just like, wow, okay, Savannah, okay, all right, cool. But now we'll go ahead and talk about the next day, which was October 10th. Prince Harry and Meghan, like I said, they weren't like the moderators of these panels, but on World Mental Health Day Festival, they definitely introduced the panels, and Prince Harry looking as dapper as ever. He still had on a suit. Meghan, she dressed a little more casual this time. Meghan loves, right? She loves, our girl loves the blue stripes top. She loves that top. But sorry, I had to go back on the Success.com. If you're just now joining us, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So again, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they opened the Project Healthy Minds 4th Annual World Mental Health Day Festival in New York City. Again, like I said, if I was living in New York, I would have bought a ticket and I would have been there. And, they emphasize the powerful theme that emerged from the last 3 years of their foundation's work. Mental health is fundamentally a community responsibility, not an individual challenge. Okay, I'll say that again because that's very important. Okay. From the last 3 years of their foundation's work, mental health is fundamentally a community responsibility, not an individual challenge. Okay. So the Archwell Foundation, again, Archwell Foundation, putting the Archwell Foundation as the forefront. That is what Prince Harry and Meghan represent. They represent the Archwell Foundation. They are not there representing themselves. They are representing the Archwell Foundation. Okay. The Archwell Foundation sponsored 3 panels throughout the festival's programming. Okay. Woo! You guys do realize and understand, right, that this is the Archwell Foundation's gig from now on. You understand that, right? You get it, right? You get it, right? The Archwell Foundation is in partnership with Project Healthy Minds in regards to the annual World Mental Health Day Festival in New York City. Prince Harry and Meghan every year during the World Mental Health Day Festival will be in New York City. And the Archwell Foundation will be the organization that will be sponsoring, hosting panels that discuss mental health. And like I said, the Archwell Foundation has only been around since 2020, 2021. I don't think it officially launched till 2021. So if you had a chance to see it, Prince Harry started off everything, of course. Right? He talked about the widespread nature of our global mental health crisis, which there is a widespread nature of our global mental health crisis. He's not exaggerating. Far from it. There is so much going on. We get exposed to trauma every damn day. Especially living in the United States. We're exposed to trauma every damn day. Every time I turn on a goddamn TV, somebody's getting tackled. Like for real. Somebody's either getting tackled or there was some major explosion that happened that killed 20 people. You got men walking around with camouflage and their faces covered with M16s. Like, seriously. Like we getting traumatized every damn day. Okay, I just watched a video where there was a mom, I want to say in Florida, just because she was parked illegally, the police officer basically beat her up and took her to jail. The SRO. Anyway, I'm just saying that Prince Harry, he's not exaggerating when he says that there is a widespread nature of a global mental health crisis. Beginning quote, "These are not separate problems for separate people. They are interlocking injuries to our global community. Mental health is shaped by public health, foreign policy, climate policy, corporate design, and economic choices. Too often, decisions made by a few powerful actors ripple across the planet into every aspect of our lives." Come through, Prince Harry, come through. Prince Harry also pointed out that our digital world has fundamentally changed how we experience reality. Come through, Prince Harry, come through. These young men, they're isolated. Their reality is not real. They've done lost connectivity. Their reality is in these video games. Their reality is on social media. Young people exposed to relentless comparison, harassment, misinformation, and attention economy designed to keep us scrolling at the expense of sleep and real human contact. So following Prince Harry's opening remarks, see, if I was there, I would have stood up and clapped. They would have kicked me out. I would have got kicked out because I would have stood up and clapped. People were looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this black girl? So anyway, following Prince Harry's remarks, he introduced the panel. And on this panel was a young lady who was a junior in high school. Awesome. That was awesome to put a young person who is experiencing the harms of social media on the panel. We got to hear from our young people. And they heard from her. Right. And that panel, the conversation centered around the experience of the youth with social media, as well as the potential for impact when young people become activists to change policy at the local, state, and national level. And I believe that's what that young lady is doing. Okay. Her name was Katie S. Okay. And then, after that, of course, the Duchess, Meghan, she introduced the panel. And on this panel, the panel was moderated by Katie Couric. Like I said earlier, I believe Katie Couric loves her some Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I do. So, Meghan, we all know that when she speaks, she's very articulate. She's very eloquent when she speaks. And, you enjoy listening to her speak. When Meghan hit the stage, I loved it that there was some intro music. And the intro music was Superstition by Stevie Wonder. My grandmother would have been so proud. But Meghan said, beginning quote, 3 years ago, we met families whose worlds had been shattered, parents who had lost children on social media driven suicide. Others watching their kids struggle with depression, anxiety, self-harm linked to online platforms. What began as individual tragedies became the foundation for the Parents Network, a community that grew from a small pilot in November 2022 to a global support system serving families across 3 countries. 3 countries. 3 countries. by August 2024. Global. That's why we say that they're global, right? That's why we say Prince Harry and Meghan are global. They're a global humanitarian, uh, philanthropic. I can't even say that word. Philanthropist couple. Okay. Meghan emphasized that bereaved parents require more than traditional therapy. She went on to outline how this principle of community-driven healing manifests across the Archwell Foundation's initiatives, their partnership with Girls Inc. and hashtag Half the Story, reach young girls in undeserved communities, addressing body image and online safety while building networks of resilience. Come through, Duchess, come through. Archwell Foundation. You see how smart those two are? You see what I'm saying? It's like they make sure that they mention, different nonprofit organizations that the Archwell Foundation is working with. And in that little spiel, Meghan mentioned Girls Inc. and hashtag Half the Story. She made it clear. The Duchess made it clear. The Parents Network, we are working with 3 different countries. And, we have this outline. And this outline is how this principle of community-driven healing manifests all across Archwell's initiatives, to include Girls Inc., hashtag Half the Story. And people have the nerve to question why they got the Humanitarian of the Year. I mean, she could have threw in there World of Sussex, right? If she wanted to be bigoted, she could have, they could have brought up World of Sussex. So I think it's important also to mention that throughout the day, okay, the Lost Green Memorial was featured at both the front entrance and the rooftop of the festival, serving as a visual reminder of the lives affected by online harms. Very, very powerful video. Right. Very, 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 very powerful. But when it comes to partnering up with nonprofit organizations, they're not done. They're not. Right? So a call to collective action. And again, I'm reading all this stuff from Success.com now. I always tell you guys how important it is to read Success.com. If you hear like little feet or you hear a little ticking, that's my work aid. So a call to action. This marked the second time that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex supported Project Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day events. The organization is a millennial and Gen Z driven mental health tech nonprofit dedicated to expanding access to mental health services across the United States. Its pragmatic initiatives serve more than 200,000 people annually. In 2023, the Arch Foundation produced conversations with the Parents Network families about social media's impact on the youth. Okay. So now remember when I was telling you about the person that had introduced the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and honored them, gave them the award, Humanitarians of the Year award. After reading more of this, I do have that person's name. Okay. So all this work was highlighted during the Project Healthy Minds Gala the previous night, where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were honored as Humanitarians of the Year. As Laura Marquez Garnett, an attorney with the Social Media Victims Law Center, noted, you didn't just create a support network, you created and sustained a movement with your kindness and refusal to give up. You made the world a better and safer place in a way that will never stop giving, no matter what happens next. Okay. All right. So again, Harry and Meghan, Humanitarians of the Year award. I believe every year from now on, around this time of the year, October, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan will be in New York City, representing the Archwell Foundation, and they will be participating in, they will be on panels participating in hashtag World Mental Health Day. All right. So, very, very proud of these two. I look forward to, what's next? What's next when it comes to the Archwell Foundation? All right. So, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I know you guys heard the news. October 13th through October 15th, Washington, D.C. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, will be there. She will be there. She will be there to speak. I think she'll be there to speak. She will be at the most powerful women's summit, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. The summit is from October 13th through October 15th. She will be there. They invited her as the founder and business owner of As Ever. Please, please, please do not tell me that As Ever is not successful. Okay. If As Ever wasn't successful, they wouldn't invite her there because of her business. But who else is going to be there? Yes. VP, Vice President Kamala Harris will be there as well. That's all we need, right, squaddies? All we need is a photo of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, with Vice President Kamala Harris. My God. That is going to go through the stratosphere, right? Oh my God, we need it. Oh my God, we need it. You guys think we're gonna get it? What do you guys think in the chat? You guys think that we're gonna get that picture, that photo of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, with Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris? I'm sorry, guys. I haven't even been paying attention to you guys in the chat. That's all we need, right? Baby, we get that photo, that one photo out. It's going to be bananas, right? It's going to be bananas if we get that photo out of Vice President Kamala Harris with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Vice President Kamala Harris likes Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. She has said nice things about her. Vice President Kamala Harris's niece used to go hard in the paint for Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Her niece doesn't really post that much on X anymore. She might have left. She probably left X. Twitter. She probably left Twitter when you know who bought it. But yeah, her niece used to go hard in the paint, like you couldn't come. She'd tell you straight up. She would post straight up, "Don't come for Meghan the Duchess of Sussex." So that picture is gonna send the haters through the roof on that. Yeah, it really, 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 really is. You guys see my Yorkie? See? You see him? Scrappy. His name is Scrappy. 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 That is, oh my God. I can't even think right now because I know those two are going to meet. They're going to talk. And we're going to get a picture. We are going to get a picture, guys. We're going to get a picture. All right, guys. Make sure you go on Sussex.com. Seriously, because Archwell Foundation, they released a video. They released a video of Meghan and Harry's 2-day trip in New York City. Okay, and that video was really, really good. It highlighted everything that they did. And just a very powerful, uplifting, inspiring video. So make sure that you check that video out that Harry and Meghan, what should say Archwell Foundation released. It highlighted the 2 days that they were in New York City, advocating, unifying, community-led mental health services. So make sure you check that video out. Please, please, please check it out. I have come to the end of this podcast. Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we end this live podcast? What? Oh, my Yorkie, he wants to go outside. Come here. Come here. Let me look in the chat. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh, looks like you guys are talking about somebody. There was a young man that took his life. Cookies and Cream says, I believe VP Harris and Meghan are going to take a picture together. Yeah. I guess we need to look at the schedule to see when those two speak. Yep, that would be a powerhouse. Powerhouse, Meghan and Kamala. The haters are going to have them running together for president and vice president. Yeah. Let me let my Yorkie out. He's about to. There you go. He probably had to, No, he wanted to go outside to go bark. Yeah. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Those two take a picture together. I'm talking about VP Kamala Harris and Meghan the Duchess of Sussex. That's when all the talk about Meghan wants to run for political office, all that talk is gonna start again. Even though she made it clear that no, she does not want to run for any political office, right? Thank you, Miss Lydia. Miss Lydia says, cute dog. Marsha R, how you doing? I'm late, so is Kate's fashion. I saw a picture of her in this green. Oh, let me hold on. I knew I should not have let him outside. Hush. Katoria. I saw a picture of her in a suit. And the color of that suit was horrific. It looked like, some of you are gonna get grossed out when I say this, but this is exactly what I thought when I saw the suit. The color of the suit looked like, when you feed, those of you who have kids, right? When your kid was a baby and you fed your baby like the green pea baby food, right? And then later on, they have a bowel movement, and the color of that bowel movement looks like the green pea baby food that you fed them. That's exactly what I thought about when I saw Mumbelina's suit. That's exactly the color of her suit. I mean, when I saw that suit, I was like the color of that suit is atrocious. But anyway. And I heard that was a Victoria Beckham suit. Like Victoria Beckham styled that suit. Wrong color, Victoria. Ooh. Victoria Beckham, she's got a show. She's got I guess a docuseries on Netflix. Like, who would want to watch Victoria Beckham for a couple of hours? Like, really? Anyway, but yeah, I saw it. Oops. Yeah, it did. Exactly, Gwendolyn. It looked like pea soup. But it looked like bowel movement pea soup. It did. It looked like bowel movement pea soup. Oh my goodness. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the monarchy, because I mean, Harry and Meghan are good. Harry and Meghan done proved 150 times over that they're good. They don't need the monarchy at all. They've shown that they can be successful outside the royal fold. They prove it every day that they breathe. Right? They basically prove it every day that they breathe. Oh, and speaking of Harry and Meghan, did you guys see the post that Megan Sussex put out? I didn't know that there was a Happy International Girls' Day, but apparently today is Happy International Girls' Day. And Megan put out a post. She put out a video on her Instagram page, a video of Princess Lily running. And then I guess they're standing by a pond. Right? They're standing by a pond, and Princess Lily, obviously she's a girly girl. Because every time you see her, she's in pink. Right? She's got her little pink bag. So cute. So cute. And Megan is wishing all the little girls, a happy International Girls' Day. Let's see, I could pull up exactly. Let me see if I can pull it up. But anyway, like I was saying, Harry and Meghan, they prove every day that they are successful outside of the royal fold. Okay, no matter how much they try to keep their foot on Harry and Meghan's neck, the naysayers and the whole British press, you know, I see that they're whining and crying and writing all these articles saying how Harry and Meghan didn't deserve the Humanitarian of the Year award. It's like, who are you? Who are you to try to dictate to a nonprofit organization, an American nonprofit organization, on who they decide to give awards to? Like, these people are thick. They're very pompous and thick. Like, like, and why do you care? Why do you care so much? How does Harry and Meghan getting a Humanitarians of the Year award affect you? We know why you're so mad. Because it does affect the monarchy to a certain degree. Because it shows that Harry and Meghan are really doing genuine, impactful service that's being recognized and acknowledged here in these United States of America. And it shows that the hate campaign, the hate machine is just not working. America is too big. America is too big of a country. I don't understand why those people just don't focus on the royals that they pay for. Just focus on those people. Focus on the royals that you pay for. Why are you so worried about what awards Harry and Meghan are doing? No. They dare not. They dare not focus on the reason why. Oh, no. They're not going to talk about why Project Healthy Minds is honoring them. They dare not touch that. They dare not touch that. The Parents Network is an initiative that those two started just 3 years ago. And the outreach is in 3 different countries. Oh, no. They dare not talk about that. No. All they want to talk about is the Oprah Winfrey interview. Spa. The Harry and Meghan documentary series. That's all they want. That's why Harry and Meghan that's why they feel Harry and Meghan should not get the Humanitarians of the Year award, because of the royal family. Well, you know what? You think Project Healthy Minds gives a flying... You know what? You think parents who are a part of the support group of the Parents Network give a flying you know what? You think those hungry children and families in Gaza give a flying you know what about the royal family, their little hurt feelings? Do you think the women that they've helped relocate, the women, families, and their children that they've helped relocate from Afghanistan to the United States give a flying you know what about the royal family's hurt feelings? You think those young women and girls that participate in Girls Inc. give a flying you know what about the royal family's hurt feelings? That's what they're not getting. The royal family is not that important. But like I was saying, you know, I think in regards to the monarchy, it's going to be a slow burn. It's going to self-destruct. Once somebody gets the balls, the balls to reveal that woman never had cancer, it's going to be a wrap. But it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap, though, when King Charles dies. It is. Because Wank, there's something seriously going on with Wank. Seriously. I think he's in more deep trouble than Kate is. I do. His demons have come home to roost. That man was not crying. See what you did? See what y'all done? Y'all got me talking about the royal family. I'm about to end this podcast. That man was not crying because the person that he was interviewing, you know, had lost. I believe they had lost their son and their husband. He wasn't almost to tears because of her story. He was well aware of her story. He was well aware of her story. They're trying to rebrand him as this sympathetic figure, but it's not going to work. It's just not. It's not. He knew her story. I read somewhere that he was well aware of her story years ago. Okay. Wank was dealing with a hangover and he was about to throw up. That's why he grabbed his mouth, because he was about to Wank was about to throw up. That's why he was like, Wank was about to gag because he was sick on his stomach. Because that lady, come on now. That lady wasn't like, oh no, do you need a minute? No, she was like, girlfriend was like this. What, you need a minute? She was looking at him crazy. You understand what I'm saying? She wasn't like, oh no, do you need a minute? Hey, you know, she was like, you need a minute? You guys know I ain't lying. I think I'm onto something. I think he was sick drunk. That's what I think. He's looking horrible. He's skinny. You know, I will say that he used to look, you know, dignified. But now he looks skinny. He looks like a bum. Meanwhile, his dad seriously has cancer. Corrupt Chuck looks bad. But he's still out there working. He's still getting cancer treatment. That man, I believe he has cancer. That man has cancer. But he's still out there. You know, but he hasn't hit remission yet. I don't think he's going to be here too much longer. I don't think he's going to be here too much longer. And I don't think William wants it. I know people think William wants to be king. I don't think he does. I think William would rather just live off the dungeons and do school runs. I do. Anyway, guys. Just making sure I'm not leaving anything behind. Anything else we can talk about? We good to go? Oh yeah, while Harry and Meghan were in New York, they met up with Serena Williams. Right, they had lunch with the goat, Serena Williams. I thought that was great. See, those two are fine. They're good. They are good. They're living life, just like normal people. Well, not just like normal people, but you understand what I'm saying? They were in New York. They did their thing with the mental health stuff. They knew Serena was going to be in New York, and they made plans to meet up with her for lunch. That's friends. They're true friends. True friends. So that was great. That was great to see. That was great to hear. You guys saw the article about Pier Palo Pacholi. I hope I'm saying his name right. Pier Palo Pacholi. You guys read that article? It's. I didn't read it. But he did an interview with The Cut, and he said that him and Meghan go way back. They go way back, and they've been text messaging each other. So I guess he wasn't ghosted. Pier Paleo Pacholi was not ghosted. So there you go. He did an interview, and he talked about their friendship, how they text message each other. That's why she was in Paris. She wanted to be there to support her friend who got a new position as creative director of oh gosh, can I say it? Balenciaga. Fashion. All right, I think we've covered basically everything, right? So what we have to look forward to definitely is the most powerful women's summit that Meghan Sussex will be a part of. She will be there to speak as founder, business owner of As Ever. I just got an email from As Ever. It was about the new wine that's already on sale. But As Ever is doing well, guys. I mean, the apricot spread already sold out. The apricot spread sold out. But man, that was less than a week. The apricot spread sold out. The French style crepe mix is sold out, and so is the flour sprinkle cookie dough. That's gone too. So I just hope that they drop the raspberry or strawberry jam before Christmas. I really want to buy those Christmas presents. And the honey, Meghan Sussex, we need some honey, girl. We need the honey. I need the honey. I want some honey. Yeah, we need that raspberry spread again. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast. It's getting late. Again, like I said, we've got the most powerful women's summit coming up October 13th through October 15th. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, will be a speaker. VP Kamala Harris will be there as well. So we definitely will be looking for that money shot picture. And again, I highly encourage you to go to sexist.com so you can read all of the updated new information in regards to our faves, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you've liked what you've heard so far, or if you liked what you heard throughout the night, I should say. Everybody, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you're in the chat or if you're just listening, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Harry, they're doing big things. They're doing big things. Here at Meghan, Duchess of Advocacy World Podcast, you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also follow us on our Instagram page, which is doing very, very well. You can follow, if you want to, you can follow us on Spoutable and Blue Sky. However, I rarely post on those social media pages. Very, very lagging on those social media pages. You can follow me, Special K Thoughts, on TikTok as well. All right, guys. So, no bad energy. Don't forget to feed the chickens and don't forget to hydrate. I know the weather is changing, but you should always keep hydrating yourself. Okay? You guys ready for the rebel yell? You guys ready for the rebel yell? Are you ready for the rebel yell? All right. Continue where the S. Let me start over. Continue to wear the SS on your chest because you know, Success Squad, we are the best. All right, guys, I'm Special K Thoughts, and I'm out, and I shall see you soon. All right, everybody stay safe. Stay safe. All right, guys. Bye.